lesson.
This morning, Spokane Public Schools and the Yes for Kids campaign are celebrating. This morning, we have all of the local levy results for you.
Plus, vaccination appointments are booked at the Spokane Arena, but more sites are opening up. We'll tell you about new appointment opportunities in both Spokane and North Idaho.
And we've got a couple of breaks in the clouds, but overall, that blanket above us has kept us pretty mild overnight, but it won't last much longer.
And those cold temperatures mean those without a roof over their heads are at risk during these extreme conditions.
These are temperatures that people freeze to death.
How the city is working to help warming shelters stay open amid COVID-19 restrictions.
Up with KREM begins now.
It is 7:01 now on our Wednesday morning. Inlander Restaurant Week highlights the best in food across the Inland Northwest, but this year, due to the pandemic, it will look a little different. Now, the Inlander just announced on Up with KREM this year, it'll have a special twist. This year, it will host 2 restaurant weeks. Yeah, double the fun, right? So the Great Dine Out starts next month, and the traditional restaurant week will take place in August.
Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. We're going to be warmer next month, and then by August, even if we all have to eat outside, it's going to be perfect weather for it. As the meteorologist, I approve.
I am so excited for this. I love how they're innovating it to make it work. And Jeremy, you're going to have to try out some of these restaurants. I'm telling you, this is the greatest week to try out places that you might not normally go.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take up long distance running. Be hungry every day.
There you go.
Hey, you got a carbo load for that. So maybe hit up some of the pasta joints.
There we go. Hey, it's good for everybody. But let's talk about the cold, because right now, nobody really wants to be eating outside. We should support all of our local businesses, or maybe just take it home, take it to go. I've done the old, I'm not proud of this, but it is a good idea, so I am going to pass it on. Sit in the back seat of the car with the heat on and just eat what you got from the place, just right in the parking lot, because you don't want your fries to get soggy. Yeah, I've done that. So, hey, it's possible. 18 degrees early on this morning. A couple breaks in those clouds. Sun getting ready to come up here in just a few moments. Wind out of the north-northeast at about 7 miles per hour. But we are in the teens across much of the inland northwest and even central Washington as that cold air continues to funnel in. And that is a bit colder than where we were yesterday. So if you're just joining us, know that here's what I've been talking about all morning long. Those incremental drops that we see all week long will eventually add up to a very chilly start to the day tomorrow and Friday. We've got a couple of stray flurries coming down in a few locations. Very similar to what we've been seeing. It's those pushes of cold air kind of squeezing the moisture out of the atmosphere. But when it comes to snow, much more widespread with it tomorrow. I think here in Spokane, probably a few flurries, but for the most part, it's big time snow down to the south and out to our west. Hour by hour for us today, I think it's very similar to yesterday. Remember yesterday I showed you this, and this is kind of what happened. We saw a little more cloud cover than what this suggested. I think we get a couple more breaks in those clouds today, but all in all, it's temps in the upper 20s later on and very chilly overnight, and tomorrow morning looks to be the coldest feels like temperature of the week.
Well, like Jeremy just told us, even colder temperatures are coming to the area. Now, this is a look at the forecasted lows for the rest of the week. As the temperatures drop, homeless shelters are also ramping up their efforts to protect people from the cold. Dana Marie McNichol is live outside of City Church this morning to tell us what the city is doing to help shelters in our area. Good morning, Dana Marie, and thanks so much for braving the cold this morning.
Good morning, Tim. Well, it is 18 degrees. We just heard Jeremy say that. And of course, I have a lot of layers on. I'm doing my best to stay warm out here. But these conditions are really chilly and could be deadly if you don't have a roof over your head. So City Church right behind me on Garland, they're doing their very best to house as many people as possible. But they do have restrictions due to coronavirus.
These are temperatures that people freeze to death. They fall asleep and they don't wake up. This is the part of our job that creates trauma. It's turning away people all night long. We can't increase capacity here.
Garcia urges people to check every availability because it will change throughout the night. City Church is one of the shelters doing as much as they can given the restrictions. Here's what the city is doing to help the shelters in our area. So they are covering entrance fees at shelters over the coming days. Shelters will be redirecting individuals to other locations if they're already full. The city is also making more space available throughout Spokane in places like hotels and motels for people that are high risk to avoid spreading the coronavirus to them. The Spokane Fire Department will also conduct welfare checks for people who don't find place to shelter from the weather. Spokane Transit bus passes will be provided for city responders, and they will also transport if necessary. Shelters like the one at City Church will be handing out supplies like hand warmers and sleeping bags to help people during this temperature. Now, the city has put together an emergency list of all shelters that are open currently. If you would like that information sent directly to your phone, text the word shelter to 509-448-2000. Also, I do want to mention that the Union Gospel Mission Men's Shelter is still currently closed due to a coronavirus outbreak. But of course, we're going to get you that information as soon as we find if it does reopen. Reporting live in Garland, I'm Dana Marie McNichol.
Well, the ballots for Washington's special election are still being counted right now this morning. That includes throughout several counties in eastern Washington.
So let's take a look at the results this morning. Voters passed the Spokane Public Schools levy. That replaces an expiring levy funding educational programs and operational expenses not covered by the state. And that includes special education, counselors, nurses, AP courses, and art. Superintendent Adam Swinyard says he's grateful for the support from the community.
The school district belongs to the community, and that's what makes public school so special, and that's what makes our school district the foundation of its success, is that it's built on listening and valuing the voices that engage with us, that looking for common interest to serve our students.
Now, for Central Valley School District, that levy is also too close to call right now, but the results are in favor of the levy so far this morning. If passed, this levy would replace an expiring levy to support school programs and operations expenses that are not covered by the state. Superintendent Ben Smalls says he is feeling hopeful the levy will pass.
We were just very thankful for the support of our community at this point. We certainly will be watching the results in the next couple days, but feel optimistically confident that we have the votes we'll need to keep a favorable result for us in the Central Valley School District.
And we have more on the special election results coming up in our next half hour. In the meantime, though, you can text election to 509-448-2000, and we'll send those results right to your phone. Tim?
All right, let's get to your local coronavirus vaccine headlines now. The Panhandle Health District will release 650 vaccine appointments today for eligible groups. Now, these will be available for their Kootenai, Shoshone, and Benewah County vaccine clinics. Appointments will open at 9 this morning. To register, go to panhandlehealthdistrict.org. These are not walk-in clinics, and all vaccines are given by appointment only. Now, here in Spokane, all 4,000 appointments at the mass vaccination clinic have been booked for the entire week already. In just 45 minutes, both the phone and online scheduled appointments were already full. But they're not the only ones offering appointments in Spokane. Last night, Providence announced they're holding a vaccination clinic this Friday and next Monday. There will be 660 appointments available between the 2 days. They will be offering the Pfizer vaccine and will be held at Providence Medical Park. You can make an appointment on their website, which is right there on your screen. If you want us to send you the latest information on how to get vaccinated, just text the word vaccine to 509-448-2000. We'll send you a link straight to your phone with the latest information we have on vaccines in our area. Jen?
Tim, thank you. Well, this morning we want to give you a sneak peek at a story that's coming up tonight on KREM. KREM 2 is sitting down with U.S. Representative Kathy McMorris Rogers. It is her first on-camera interview since the insurrection. Take a listen.
This has been on my mind for a number of years. I've been concerned about the lack of civility. And I share that because this has been building for a number of years.
Does it mean speaking up? Even members of your own party? Does it mean speaking up if they're doing something that you don't think is civil?
Well, you can hear the rest of this exclusive interview tonight on KREM 2 News at 6.